Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. Today's going to be kind of what's going on and a little bit of stuff from the toy fair in Germany. So first up is, not much has changed as far as projects going on around here, except for one. The Yokomo dogfighter is still over there, sitting there unpainted. Just did not have time last week between prepping for the winter storm that we were getting and helping out Al on a special project of his. And I'm still not 100% sure exactly what it's going to look like. I've got stuff drawn on there. I'm just not exactly sure what colors it's going to be. Still working on that. But did a smart thing and decided to start building the comical hotshot. Figured I'd start this. I started this on Sunday. It was snowing and icing all day. Figured, well, I can do something that has a pre-painted body. So figured I can knock this out in a day. Well, I worked on it for a couple of hours, then went upstairs. We watched something on TV for a while, and then the sleet and everything kind of slowed down. So I was like, well, let me get out there and do some plowing. Plowing snow and plowing sleet, two completely different animals. Not going to get into a whole bunch of rigmarole with it, but plowing sleet is 10 times harder on the tractor and just more difficult to move. It's like moving sand. Snow just kind of plows out of the way, and this stuff was just like sand. You'd plow it, and it would just slide right back. Half of it would slide right back into the road. But it's done. All taken care of. Everything is shoveled out, plowed out, so things are back to normal here. It's not going away anytime soon because it's bitter cold still. I think it's about 20, well, it's 27 now. It's warmed up quite a bit. But not supposed to really get over freezing most of the week, so it's all just going to stay where it's at. Anyway, decided to try to get this done. I got basically the chassis done and got up to the shocks, and I was like, well, let me take a break, and then didn't get back to it. Came back down yesterday, got shocks built, got all the little accoutrements and everything and the electronics on, and got the wheels and tires done. And that's why I ran out of steam yesterday. I still have a rack of parts on parts trees. I've got two huge things of lights, and still have the body to go. So, and I've got a whole parts tray of hardware, so I evidently still have quite a few steps left to go just on the body. So this will be coming up once it's done. I have 100 pictures of it going together, so there'll be a full build montage of all that coming together. So that's where we're at as far as projects. Now, I woke up this morning not expecting news from the toy fair in Germany. I thought it was Wednesday, to be honest with you, but we were going to see anything. But a whole bunch of stuff came out today. I've kind of run through it. I don't have a ton of info on a lot of it. It's still getting more info in and more pictures. I'll share what kind of stuff, my thoughts on some of the stuff and some of the pictures I've been able to borrow from the internet. The biggest one for me is probably the Ford Ranger F-150. It's literally the only old school one re-release that they really did so far. I'm not a terribly huge fan of the F-150. It's kind of a Blackfoot on a SRB chassis, but they did make things a little bit better. I did see pictures where they have different body mounts, so instead of just the one big post up front where it would just sit there and rock and you'd end up cracking the body and everything, they've made like a clip adapter, so it looks like it clips on and then it sets down on the body post on the back. So that looks like a good upgrade to keep things from getting torn up. So the new body mount should be really cool. And like I said, 50-50 on getting it or not. I really like it because it is a cool re-release. It's not one I'm going to be able to get otherwise. Just kind of is going to depend on the price. If it's $450, $480, it's not happening. The one that made me laugh the most, and one I probably will get, again, depending on the price, is the Quark Hopper. And they properly named that one. That one is quirky, but it's basically like a GFO. Well, this is a GFO1 chassis, but it's a GFO2 chassis, so it's just a two-wheel drive. It's basically the squash van, I believe. Kind of the same multi-geared transmission dealy. It kind of is like the new age Mad Bull, I guess. But man, the styling on that thing is oddball. You have a kind of a monster truck chassis, monster truck tires, and then what kind of looks like a Dandy Dash body, but with those big bulbous rally lights on the front of it. They were like mashing some stuff together over there. So yeah, that one is definitely Quirk. Hopper was a good name for that one. Again, depends on the price if I get one of those. If it's a $250 kit because, it's on a GFO 2 chassis. No, it's a $160, $170 kit. Sure. Who knows? One that's cool for, collectors, the TRF 421. It's no interest to me. Those things are just ungodly overpriced for what they are. And, I'm not buying a $500, $600, $700 car just to stick on the shelf. The Lunchbox Evo, again, I'm kind of on that one. And we'll have to find out some more on this. The double link front suspension, it will be nice. It'll keep those tires from doing this, going in and out as the suspension cycles. The tires will stay straight up and down instead of on that crazy arc like they usually are. It does look like it has a solid rear axle, but there's an awful lot of other stuff going on back there that I really haven't been able to see a good picture of. So not 100% sure what's going on with the rear of that thing. I did see the video of them kind of putzing around at the show, and it looked like it was struggling to do a wheelie. So if it doesn't wheelie, that's going to be but I'll probably get one. Again, we'll see how much it is. It's probably not going to be terribly expensive. If it's going to be like anything else, the new releases probably will come in under the current ones. So, I'm expecting 130 or so for that one. They had a few different Mercedes-Benz. I'm not familiar with Mercedes. I couldn't tell you what's what. The one that looked really, really good is probably going to be a nightmare to put stickers on, but it does look really, really cool. Not sure what chassis that was on. I think it's a TTO2. But there was a Zack Speed Racer. That's a really, really cool design body. Again, looks like a nightmare with stickers, but should be a cool one. I think there was a couple more Mercedes. There's the other Mini that's coming out as well. Oh, and of course, the new Porsche Anniversary Edition. Now, that one, the chassis has me very interested. I really could care less about the Anniversary Edition of Porsche, and I'm probably not going to get one just because they're going to go for way too damn much, and they're just going to go the second they hit the shelves or available for online ordering. So I'm not too worried about that one, but the chassis does look interesting. It's a very good-looking front end, big, flat, wide tub chassis, kind of TTO 2-ish, but then the rear end, that's when it gets weird. So you have the rear axles, and then you have this weird transverse transmission motor mount deal. I can't remember who said it, but I saw a Facebook post. Somebody called it the prolapse Porsche. Or full prolapse Porsche. But yeah, the motor sticking out the back, should make for some hella traction, but, hate to get rear-ended. But yeah, there's a whole lot of other stuff that's probably going to come out. I hope. The disappointing thing for me, there were very, other than the F-150, there was really no heavy hitters in there. The Lunchbox Evo is cool. The TRF 421, that's a select group of people. And I'm sure the Mercedes and all those will sell well, but no Falcon, no King Cab, no 959, no Astute, no Stadium Blizzard, no Dynastorm, no TXT, no Bullhead, no what the hell. 50th anniversary, and you guys are just going to come out the door with technically one re-release and some other weird stuff like Quirk Hoppers and, Lunchbox Evos. I'm grateful for what they're doing, but that's kind of disappointing coming on your 50th anniversary when, I was very, very hopeful this year was going to be the year we saw some of those big heavy hitter names come out of the woodworks, and we got the Quirk Hopper. So did see some from Kyosho's booth. The Land Cruiser 60 10th scale crawler, that looks really, really good. An incredibly detailed body. Looks like it's on a very nice, well thought out chassis. It looks like it has a long, low transmission, which should help keep some weight down. And instead of the battery being towards the back of the car like so many of the other ones do, they shifted the battery up towards midship right over top of the very low slung transmission, so that should help overall balance and keep a little less weight off the rear and a little bit more weight towards the front, or at least the center of the chassis. So hopefully that will actually be a decent crawler. Otherwise, Kyosho's booth looked like it did last year. It's all the same stuff in their booth, other than the Moon Eyes Mad Van, which is literally just a body swap, body and wheel swap on that. Everything else looked pretty much the same. Now, I don't know about the Mini Zs. I really don't pay any attention to them, so I could not tell you if there's anything new or not new in the Mini Z world. But yeah, Kyosho's booth was very disappointing. So that just kind of seemed like a big flop over there, other than the Land Cruiser 60. That is kind of their big swing evidently this year. But yeah, that was very disappointing that there were no new retro buggies from them at all. So yeah, that's all I know about the Toy Fair. There's probably 5 more notifications on here. No, seems to have simmered down. I've been getting notifications all morning, text, emails, DMs, everything. Like, hey, did you see this? Did you see this? And I'm not complaining. Believe me. Thank you guys for sending it to me. Had a very slow start to the day, so that kind of helped get me caught up on what was going on and, divert my attention to that, because again, I thought it was going to be Wednesday when we heard all this, not Tuesday. So anyway, guys, if we get a whole bunch more tomorrow, then maybe I'll follow up and have a better outlook on it. But so far, not impressed this year. So we'll see. There's still a lot more year to come. Maybe they'll roll out some stuff every couple months and surprise us. Who knows? At least it wasn't Associated's little tiny pickup truck that's terribly ugly and absolutely pointless. So they did better than Associated. So good job, guys. Anyway, everybody out there, as always, be happy, be healthy, be safe. Everybody take care, and let me know down in the comments, what was your woo moment, or what was your moment of the announcements from Tamiya, Kyosho, any other brands. Pretty much Tamiya and Kyosho is the only one I've been paying attention to. So drop them down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. You guys kind of in the same boat as me, or you guys super excited about one thing or another. Let me know. Everybody out there, take care. See you.